I'm just checking in. I was in Toledo, Ohio this past weekend, and I am never going back to Toledo, Ohio without a video camera ever again. I didn't bring my video camera because normally I'll like bring my video camera, set it up, do the whole beep, 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 turn it on thing to get footage of shows that whatever. So I didn't bring my camera this time. And within 10 minutes on the first show Friday night, the girl who was featuring, who was really funny, Felicia, I'll get her last name, Felicia, she's on stage. This guy, crystal clear, not drunk, totally fluid. He goes, I have 3 balls. And she's like, what? And then they have this whole thing about it. And then when I get on stage, I'm like, please elaborate on the 3 balls. He tells this crazy story that I wish I could share, but I didn't have a video camera. And then later in the show, I'm talking with this woman about her mammograms, how she gets them. She brought it up somehow, and then she stands up and shows like these like giant boobs, and like it does a full act out of like how she has to do the mammogram. And I compared it with me having to do a mammogram and me trying to smush myself in the machine because I'm so flat chested. And I'm like, what? It's like I could feel the TikToks make themselves, and I was like, how did I not bring a video camera? And then I was like, well, nothing crazier could happen the second night. It did. It's okay. Live and learn. I remember it happened one time too. Like I didn't bring a camera set up. I had recorded a bunch of shows, but then not used any of the footage. And then I didn't bring a camera set up. And within like the first minute, there's this guy in the front row raises his hand and he's got a mullet. And I said, hey sir, how you doing? And he said, something totally batshit nuts where, before the day of social media, you maybe would have been like, oh God, it's a crazy person. Now with social media, you're like, oh my God, it's a crazy person. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I saw the funniest thing at a show too. This is maybe let me tell you it. I don't want to like say how funny I thought it was and build it up too much, but so there's a comedian who's a friend of mine. His name's Pete Lee. Really funny guy, nice guy. I've known him for years. And we were doing a showcase in the city. It was showcase means everyone does like 15 minutes. So if it's like you go to a show and it's like Doug's show, Doug's going to do 45 minutes to an hour. But if you're going to a show where it's like a show where there's like a bunch of people on it, normally everyone's just doing 15 minutes. So it's like not the individual show. So we're doing one of those, and that's common, like in New York City, the clubs are all showcase shows, and you're just like bopping around. That's like when you like work on stuff more. I personally find it harder to work on stuff in those environments though, because it's like you've got a shorter amount of time to establish yourself. And I'll feel like in those situations, I need to spend at least like 6 minutes getting people like comfortable with the different visual. I could be totally wrong about that, but this is just what I've observed, and I'll feel it energy wise. So I'm at the show. It's an early show. The host establishes up top that a lot of the people were from out of town. I think it was 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. So lots of people are from out of town. Okay, the host brings up Pete. Pete's the first comic, and he's talking to people, joking around, and then he asks this one guy, he's like, where are you from, sir? And the guy goes, and I can see them because I'm standing behind waiting to go on. So I see him, the back of his head, he turns to his wife, he goes, and we're from Toulouse. And Pete doesn't miss a beat. He goes, you can't call her that. And the guy goes, what? And he goes, you can't say that about women in America. And he goes, Toulouse. And Pete goes, yeah, we don't talk about women like that, sir. And the people in the audience there didn't get it, but me and the waitstaff were dying. And then he said something like the guy like wasn't getting it, so he doubled down. The guy was like, too loose, and he was like, you're gonna need to keep that as a private conversation between yourselves. He was like, don't talk about women like that. Pete was doubling down, and the guy wasn't getting it, and it was so, I think it was the funniest. It was so funny. Too loose, don't talk about women like that. Funny. Just dropped my phone on my head. The other day, my niece did the cutest thing. I was FaceTiming with her, and she dropped the phone, and then she picks it up, and I'm on the phone FaceTiming with her, and she had dropped the phone, but she was looking at my face, and then she goes, are you okay? So I just, imagine it knocked out my tooth. If you never hear from me again, it's because I did knock out the tooth again, and I just said, okay, I'm going to go live in a yurt. I'm moving back home. Like, I've had enough. If I knock another tooth, not that there's anything wrong with not having a tooth, but just for me, emotionally, and I love meeting people with missing the teeth. I truly do. It's an honor and a privilege, and I never want someone to feel self-conscious about not having their teeth too. I always feel bad about that, but I know for me, if I knocked it out now, Boo-boo, Lexi, were you calling my name?
I'm so sorry you're recording something. I just forgot. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. What is it?
Sorry.
It's okay. You're forgiven. It's live though. I'm joking. It's not live. I'm joking. What is it?
Do you want your rice combined with your beans? Or do you want me to keep them separate?
whatever you're doing. I don't care. Thank you. Thank you, boo-boo. Just kidding. So cute. I just dropped the phone on my head. Just dropped it on my head. Imagine it hit my tooth. My tooth fell out. You never hear from me again. If you never hear from me again, it's because something happened. Hit the phone, teeth. I said, that's enough of me for me. I will go sit quietly and live in a yurt and be of the land. Be one with it. See, I couldn't be one with it, though, and I couldn't be on a farm because I could just see myself not getting along with the chickens. There's something about a chicken. It's the squawking where it's like, okay, you know what? The eggs aren't worth it for me. I'm going to go for one big bang and just eat the chicken. Then I'd have no eggs, and I could see it being a ripple effect on the farm. I don't know. Like, I don't think me on a farm would be the best, even though I love the idea of it. And I get too close with the pigs, and it just... One thing I wanted to run by you, too, was speaking of teeth, dental stuff, and if you are missing your front tooth, I never want anyone to feel self-conscious about that at all. It's just, for me, what I can handle and the way I am with my personality and doing front-facing, I guess everyone does front-facing things, but with the public speaking and the stand-up specifically, that for me, I think also I associate, for me, missing the tooth, me just like being kind of like, I associated it with the audit and kind of a tough time. So, but if someone's missing a tooth, everyone's on their own journey with the stuff, and more power to you. And it's a privilege and an honor to have been a part of that community. So at the dentist the other day, because I went to get my mouth guard checked out. Always forget to wear that thing. I mean, it's just a liathon going in. If I could put me at my dentist on an acting resume, I would start booking more roles, because that's where I put on the work. So I had been flossing, but I didn't get to do it the past couple weeks because someone broke into my house and they took the floss. And, like, I know that wasn't that good of an example, but just trust me, I lay it on when I'm in there. Like, they give a fuck. But I go in, I get my mouth guard checked out, and when I'm checking out, the receptionist, who I have a very friendly banter with, I'm not going to say her name, doesn't matter. So I noticed she had something called an oximeter, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, on her finger, which is something that tracks your oxygen levels in real time. And I said, oh, I have one of those. Because I got it when I was sleeping, because I wanted to monitor my oxygen levels when I was asleep, because I'm trying to figure out what's this bottleneck that's making it so I don't get very much deep sleep, and my heart rate variability, which if you're interested in that, which I do really think it's a very interesting thing, the quickest and most simple way I know how to explain it, someone, if you've got a better way, please help me, because it's one of those things that's indicative of tons of things, but the simplest way to explain it is how much your heart rate varies, the variability between your rest and digest and your fight or flight response. So you want to have a lot of variation, because your body goes through, if you're basically like keeping the same tone, it means like your body's stuck. It's not actually reacting to like the things as it should. So it's like, if you're super stressed out, that's going to have one effect, and it could be stress, mental anguish stress, or it could be like a temporary good stress, like working out. That working out stresses out your body, but it's a temporary good stress, because that's going to cause building muscles, more oxygen flow going to your brain, like moving things around, like even a massage, like a really hard massage, that's technically a temporary stress in your body, which then afterwards is a relaxation thing. So stress on your body and mind can be good too, but your body needs to be able to bounce back from that. So say stress in the good sense. Okay, you do it, your body's stressed, it's doing one thing to your heart, but then the baseline goes back down to calm. If you're not able to get stressed and then not able to get calm, something is off. And my heart rate variability hasn't been good. The variation is really low. I can tell you how to like monitor that, and I've read like every single thing that I can find about it too, because I just think it's like really interesting, and it's a way of seeing like, hey, something is off. I don't know what it is. So mine's been, for lack of a better term, fucked to the wind for a while. So I'm like, the bottleneck, I think, is the digestion stuff. Clearly something's wrong with the digestion. I'm pooping my pants. Happened the other day. I said, I can't do this anymore. Happened the other day. And I wanted to cry, because I said, I've been doing everything. No, all this stuff. What am I, like, I see the GI doctor on July 2nd. So as of right now, my theory is it's from doing Accutane and antibiotics and not repopulating it with good gut bacteria. I also have, I was born really premature, and I had a CT scan recently, and it showed some cysts with fluid in my lung, the right lung. And so I think that low-grade inflammation, which I've been working on now, and I've been doing a bunch of stuff, I think that inflammation has like offset stuff, so it's making my HRV be kind of fucked up. Yada, yada. I had an oximeter, however it's pronounced, and I see that she had one. I go, oh, you have one of those. She goes, do you need one? I said, well, actually, no, I don't. But I thought that maybe I did, so I got one. She goes, yeah. And then she was like, let me tell you. She was like, I went into, and I don't want to, I'm going to paraphrase her story, but basically the gist of it is she was like, I was having all these health problems. The doctor basically said, you've got a year left to live. And she was like, I took him at face value. I trusted him because especially when you're sick and questioning things, that's when I say they've got you where they want you, I don't mean doctors. And I mean, it's like so many different things had to go wrong to create these situations. But it's like, if you're sick, then, oh, it's almost too sad to even talk about. But I feel like once you are sick, then they being like broad terms, it's like you're scared and you don't know what to do. And then you really need to be wanting to trust people more than ever. So she was like, I was like taking everything that he told me to take and I'm not feeling any better. She's like, but I'm doing my own research. And then she was like, I went and saw a homeopathic doctor who gave me some other options. And she was like, and then I stopped taking some of the things. I'm not advising for any of this. I'm just telling you one specific story. This is very case to case. And then she was like, I changed that around. And then she was like, and then I started doing different types of like therapies. And she was like, and I completely was able through my own research and working with a different type of doctor, which I know that's like a privilege of a thing to be able to do, but was able to like reverse the blood work. And she's like, and her other doctor like couldn't believe it. And I was like, that's so interesting. So I love hearing stories. I mean, but it's a double-edged sword. I love hearing stories about how people piece things together for themselves to figure out what was going on. What I don't love about it is that you had to do it. If that was your reality, if you're like, every day I woke up with a migraine and then everyone's like, your leg's broken. And you're like, no, I just ended up needing to eat beets or whatever. But I love hearing those. It's such a testament to resilience and like the human condition. And then like using the resources we do have, to be able to it's like fighting for yourself. So I love hearing those stories, but I do feel bad that people have to do that. So I'm feeling a little self-conscious, like putting that out there. But I love hearing about like health and wellness stories where it's like people like piece things together and then felt better. But maybe this is like way too fucking depressing because I got pizza together and I didn't. Yeah, time to eat. You cut me off at a good time because I was really taking things downhill.